So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now is the time that we are starting to see top NHL prospects request trades. It had already been done a few weeks ago with the Rutger McGroarty stuff out of Winnipeg, but this one, I think, is a little bit more obvious. Like, this was one of the ones where if you had told anybody, like a few weeks ago around the start of free agency, hey, this guy will request a trade, you probably would have been like, okay, yeah, that's not all too surprising. So let's head over to the Nashville Predators and give a quick update in net. Because just a few days ago, we had seen ourselves a huge contract extension handed out to the guy that is the number one in Nashville right now, and who will probably continue being that number one for the foreseeable future as long as that 8-year contract holds itself up. UC Saros, everybody, signed a huge extension the other day, and it was seen as a pretty interesting move, because this is a guy who now is going to be on the books till 2033 at 29 years old. His entire 30s are going to be with Nashville at near $8 million a year. So that's great, fine and dandy for the Predators, right? They have themselves their guy, he wants to commit to them, and they got the contract done, so that commitment is locked in. But what does that mean for all the other goaltenders that are in the Predators' pipeline? In particular, what does it mean for Yaroslav Askarov, a guy that we all said, as prospect fans and NHL fans, would be the best goaltending prospect since Andrei Vasilevsky all the way back in 2012. Yaroslav Askarov was the first-round goaltender taken in the 2020 draft 11th overall by Nashville, and his numbers, his production, the way he was projecting to play into his future was nothing short of spectacular. He was one of the best goaltenders in the Russian junior scene pretty much ever, and then he was equally good in the regular KHL. Eventually, he found himself into the AHL system, and you can see the numbers right here. I mean, in 2023-2024, Askarov played 2 games with the regular Nashville Predators, posting up a .943 save percentage and a .147 goals against. That is fantastic. In 44 AHL Milwaukee Admiral games, he had 6 shutouts, a .239 goals against, and a .911 save percentage. Now, his playoff stint, unfortunately, did not match that. He only had an .882 save percentage in 5 games in the playoffs and a .325 GAA, but at only 22 years old and on the path that he is at, Yaroslav Askarov has been seen by many and continues to be seen by many as one of the best young up-and-coming goaltenders in the NHL's prospect systems. There are guys that really just take over that franchise goaltender label as early as when they're drafted. You had seen Jesper Wallstedt exhibit a similar trait. Askarov was the big one. I'd say that Spencer Knight was like underneath that. I didn't want to put him in the same category, but he's certainly a fine young player as well. But for Yaroslav Askarov, we had ourselves word from his agent Dan Milstein on an article published on sovsport.ru. This article was published by Andrei Bobrov a few days ago, and it goes over a comment made by Milstein talking about how Yaroslav Askarov should become an elite goaltender in the NHL. Askarov has potential, and he should become an elite goaltender in the future. Today, we are working with his Nashville Predators club on various options. Yaroslav has proven to everyone that he is an NHL player. Milstein is quoted as saying by Championship. Now, that quote is kind of translated weirdly by the Google machine, so there were some other reports on this posted around social media. Michael Gallagher went out there and said this. The same quote, rephrased a little bit differently. Askarov has the potential and should become an elite goaltender in the NHL. Recently, we have been working together with the club under different scenarios. He has proven that he is an NHL player. So, with this in mind, it pretty much confirms what we had talked about with some of these other scenarios and players. Yaroslav Askarov and his agent are working on a trade. This guy wants out, and it is totally understandable as to why this went down the way it was. Imagine being touted as a young guy, you're a teenager, you're going to be a prospect in the NHL draft, and everybody is saying, hey, this is the best goaltending prospect we have seen in a decade. This guy's going to be the next Vasilevsky. This guy's going to have that ceiling. He's going to be a Vezina-winning goaltender one day. And then you get taken by Nashville. Okay, great. The lights are bright and the music is loud and the team happens to be bolstering themselves up. Steven Stamkos, Marchessault, they're getting better. That's great. And then you realize that your job is all of a sudden in jeopardy because the guy that was supposed to be leaving, a lot of people thought that UC Saros would be on his way out one way or another, just signed a huge contract extension till 2033. That is 9 years into the future. And right now you're 22 years old. When 9 years into the future hits, you're going to be 31. Are you going to be in a position to keep up with the Nashville Predators at that time? Who really knows? What's going to happen? Are you even going to be on this roster? Are you going to be expendable at some point in time? If they're committing all this dollar and time to UC Saros, then it means that your job as the starter is not going to come till at least 2033. And when you think about it like that, it's like, okay, wait, like, I thought I was going to be this hotshot young rookie goaltender that was going to light the league on fire. I had a 940-something save percentage in the regular season in the NHL this year, and now the guy ahead of me is going to stick around for the next 8 years? Of course you would want out if you were Yaroslav Askarov. And sure, there are some replies to the initial tweet that we had looked at as to whether or not Askarov has proven himself, whether he is that good. He absolutely has not proven himself, Happy Gilmore says. He can't even keep his head in the AHL. And then another reply here from Michael says, yeah, it's agent speak for why did you sign another goaltender for 8 years? My client and me, we have the right to go out there and look at new options here and explore a trade, seeing what other options are there. Because it's very obvious that with the way the Predators are trending, that opportunity to being a number one guy is not going to come here. It's going to come somewhere else. And it's the agent's job to go out there and see what options are there and try to facilitate that trade as so. Or at least it's not supposed to be the agent's job, but sometimes when you see players that are in a position to want out and it's very public that they want out and all of a sudden the team is not able to trade them, then the agent can get involved, and that's what we're going to see here. So if you're a fan of the Nashville Predators, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Yaroslav Askarov being involved in trade talks? Not necessarily like, oh, the Preds are shopping him, but more so in the realm of, hey, his agent has spoken out, and the agent is looking out for trades. This dude wants out, and he does not feel like he's going to be a part of your future long term, especially after that contract signing handed out to UC Saros till 2033. 2033 sounds like an entire future away, honestly, but this is one of those things where in 10 years, when we look back on this video and it's, 2033, crazy, right? It's going to be 2034, 10 years from now, and this timeline is going to feel like it's zipped by quickly. Time is so weird, dude. Ever since COVID hit, lots of things are just coming and going so quickly that I feel like this 2033 scenario, while it may feel really short in hindsight, at this moment in time, 9 years beforehand, yeah, no, that feels like a long time away. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as to Yaroslav Askarov asking for a trade or being in a position where his agent is going to help facilitate a trade, and this all being the result of signing that other goaltender to a huge contract extension. If you were Barry Trotz, would you have given the contract to UC Saros? Would you have let him walk? Would you have traded him instead and rolled with Askarov the next season or two? Or would you have done things the same way that things went down in real life? Re-sign Saros, give him a whole bunch of term, and then let Yaroslav Askarov find himself in the unhappy pile. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.